At 3 in the morning, Min lies alone when a violent clap of thunder jolts her awake. Through the window, she sees something terrifying. She switches on the light and screams for her mother as objects in the room begin lifting into the air. Outside, her mother pounds desperately on the heavy door. A horrific spirit slowly advances toward Min, its anguished wail filling the room. Earlier on a Sunday night, Vari drives alone with her daughter toward her ancestral home, Jarukan house. Her Portuguese grandfather built the house in 1932 after arriving as a mining engineer. After nearly 30 years away, ever since moving to Bangkok with her mother, Vari returns now. Bruises mark her face, hinting at recent trauma. Repeated phone calls keep coming in, steadily increasing her anxiety and fear. At a roadside petrol pump, Vari stops the car and hides Min. She does not want any CCTV or strangers to see Min with her, driven by fear linked to her husband. After refueling and buying supplies, she resumes the drive. When a call comes from her husband, Udichai, she drops the phone onto the road so he cannot trace her. By morning, after a long drive, they reach the house, deep in a forest far from the city. The building, abandoned for 30 years, is in poor condition. As Vari enters, old memories, both good and bad, flood back. She decides Min will stay in the same room Vari once used as a child. A sudden knock makes Vari hide Min quietly before opening the door. Uncle Nathai stands outside, the caretaker since her mother's time. As requested, he brings necessary supplies. Seeing Vari, a troubling memory briefly crosses his face, but Vari does not keep him long. She needs Min hidden. Before leaving, Uncle Nathai gives food and a new phone. Vari tells him she lives nearby if needed. He warns that rain will come at night and electricity may fail. The generator in the storage room has not run in 30 years and may not work. As Uncle Nathai leaves, his eyes drift to the upstairs window curtain. It appears to have moved, possibly by Min, but he says nothing and departs with a grim expression. Inside, Min opens a wardrobe and finds an old storybook, Alice's Adventures, and becomes absorbed in it. When Vari scolds her for moving the curtain, Min insists she did not touch it. Vari finishes arranging their belongings and keeps a pistol with her for protection. In the evening, as Vari struggles to turn on the television, a flash of lightning makes Min think she sees someone. It may be a trick of the mind. Outside, strong winds rattle the broken windows. Vari goes upstairs to shut the doors. Min notices a locked room and later learns from her mother that her grandmother always kept it closed, without ever explaining why. During dinner, low voltage interrupts Vari's stories. Suddenly, Min sees a terrifying spirit behind her mother, right in front of the large clock. Its burned face looks monstrous as it moves closer. Min begins to tremble uncontrollably. When Vari asks what is wrong, Min explains that someone is standing behind her, staring. Vari sees nothing. Vari tries to start the generator, but Min refuses to leave her side. In the rain, under an umbrella, they clean off the machine and remove its cover. The size and strange design suggest it is no ordinary generator. When turned on, it runs only for a few seconds before dying. With no choice, they rely on candles. Before sleeping, Min asks for a story. Vari sits with Alice's Adventures. Outside, rain pours endlessly. Inside, Min lies warm in her mother's arms and soon falls asleep. Morning begins with a game of hide and seek, Min's favorite. While searching, Vari sees Min wearing a mask and running into the next room. Vari does not recall owning such a mask. Later, she sees Min deeply focused on drawing. As Vari approaches, Min suddenly jumps out, startling her. Vari struggles to steady herself, confused by what she saw earlier. That room was once her mother's study and is now used for storage. From there, Min finds some of her mother's old toys and a photograph of her grandmother, keeping them for herself. In the afternoon, Vari hears persistent knocking sounds but finds nothing unusual. At night, rain returns. Min wakes in fear, thinking someone stands at the window. Vari hugs her, assuming it is just a nightmare. In the morning, Min again sees the masked girl. Unsure if it is another illusion, Vari takes Min out to the nearby beach to clear her mind. Storms seem to follow them everywhere. Vari calls Uncle Nathai and asks if any children live nearby. He says there are no other houses in the area besides his, let alone children. When Vari briefly loses sight of Min, panic sets in and she searches frantically. Min soon appears, having hidden behind rocks. Overwhelmed, Vari scolds her. Min blurts out that she does not like this house. She has no friends and no cartoons to watch. Suddenly, it feels like someone runs past them. Vari sees the masked girl again. Min rushes out and points toward a large rubber tree in the forest, insisting someone is there. She tries desperately to convince her mother, but Vari sees nothing. Later, in the study room boxes, Vari finds the same mask Min described. At that moment, the voltage drops again. That night, rain pours once more. At dinner, Vari tries to persuade Min to stay in the house, explaining that returning to her husband is impossible. Though some savings remain from her mother, she plans to renovate the house into a cafe or restaurant. Mid-conversation, the power cuts out. Min is frightened again for reasons Vari cannot grasp. Min clearly sees the horrific spirit advancing from the clock toward her mother. As it comes very close, Min screams in terror. When comforted, Min shows a drawing of a doll whose face had been smeared black earlier that morning, trying to explain something indescribable. Vari begins to sense a deepening mystery connected to the large clock. After putting Min to bed, Vari clears the dinner plates and sits alone. Memories of her husband's abuse and her own depression overwhelm her. The loneliness feels unbearable, compounded by worries about Min's future. She starts drinking one glass after another. Suddenly, Vari thinks she sees Min watching her and hiding. She wonders why Min is awake so late. As the clock strikes 3, Min's scream echoes through the house. Before the sound cuts off, Vari glimpses the bed lifting into the air. Min sees the spirit and screams in terror. Its burned flesh peels grotesquely across its body. Min hides inside the wardrobe, but something suddenly drags her away from behind. Vari rushes into the room to find everything destroyed and scattered. Min is gone. She runs out into the rain toward the forest, searching desperately. Unable to find her daughter, she is forced to call the police. The investigation is assigned to Officer Fire. Despite being 6 months pregnant, she shows no reluctance to work. After informing her team, she arrives at Vari's 1932 house. Seeing a pregnant officer leaves Vari disappointed. The marks on Vari's face do not escape Fire's notice. Inside the house, Fire's attention goes to a socket with a screw fixed into the ceiling, suggesting something once hung there. During the initial interrogation, details of Vari's relationship with her husband emerge. When asked for Min's photos, Vari cannot provide any, explaining her old phone was lost and contained all the pictures. She also claims she does not use social media. Fire finds this suspicious. Entering Min's bedroom, Fire notices the large clock. Vari has said Min disappeared at exactly 3 in the morning. The stopped clock, the locked room, and the condition of the bed deepen Fire's suspicion. According to Vari, the bed was floating in the air just before Min vanished, and from that moment on, Min has not been found. Meanwhile, Officer Fire arrives with the rest of the team. Her attention is immediately drawn to the massive power generator installed by Vari's mother. The size feels excessive for a single house, raising serious suspicion. The first search begins in the forest, since Min had claimed to see someone there earlier. Fire also takes detailed notes about every stop Vari made while driving from Bangkok. As Nathai arrives, Fire's suspicion deepens. Since Vari had been hiding Min after arriving, Nathai never realized a child was present. Vari herself is surprised, believing Nathai had seen Min moving the curtain that day. Nathai now insists he saw no one. Fire's suspicion shifts heavily toward Vari. No one has seen Min, there are no photographs, and the question emerges whether Min is truly missing or if Vari arrived alone. Before leaving, Fire writes down her number and states that until it is proven Min is truly Vari's daughter and was actually brought here, no missing report can be filed. Watching the pregnant and visibly distressed Vari sitting in the car triggers a strange emotional conflict in Fire. She wonders whether the woman is telling the truth. Vari confronts Nathai, asking why he appeared startled at the window if he had not seen Min. Nathai avoids answering and leaves to ask nearby people about the child. At the same time, Fire heads with Officer Tai to the Champen petrol pump where Vari had stopped earlier. When the CCTV footage is reviewed, both officers are shocked. In none of the recordings is Min seen with Vari. At one point, Vari appears to be talking to herself, making her seem unstable. Fire quietly saves copies of all the footage. Later, Officer Dana calls Fire into her cabin. From their conversation, it becomes clear they share a relationship, and the pregnancy is the result of an affair since Dana is already married. Fire's husband is also a topic of gossip in the department. This situation deeply troubles Tai, who harbors emotions for Fire. While collecting further records, Fire finds Min's birth certificate in the civil registration report. This partially eases her doubts, confirming that Vari does have a child. However, another possibility remains. Either Vari never brought Min here or Nathai is lying. The next day, Fire interrogates Nathai and uncovers disturbing history. Years ago, while protecting Vari's family from a mentally unstable girl, Nathai lost his eyesight when the girl attacked him. The girl later fell from the 2nd floor and died in the house. After that incident, Vari and her mother permanently left for Bangkok. That evening, Vari is summoned to the police station. Fire questions why Min does not appear in any CCTV footage if she truly traveled from Bangkok. The car's front camera also shows Vari seemingly talking to herself. Her odd behavior raises further concern. Another shock follows. From an old family album collected earlier, Fire shows Vari a childhood photo. Vari immediately identifies the child as Min. Fire corrects her, explaining that the photo is actually of Vari herself as a child. This confirms that there is still no proof Min was brought along. Suddenly, Vari's demeanor changes. She remembers Sunday night before leaving home during a heated argument over divorce. In a moment of panic, Vari fired a gun. The bullet struck the wardrobe behind which Min had been hiding. Fire presses Vari further and demands a DNA test of the bloodstains on her clothes. With no escape, Vari hands over a piece of the blood-soaked fabric. The memory becomes clearer. The gun had fired that night, but Min narrowly survived because her back was pressed against the wall. With no options left, Vari called her husband and told him everything. Yudichai coldly declared that whoever took the child should deal with the consequences. When Fire later demanded Min's photo, Yudichai used his influence and abruptly ended the call. Soon after, Yudichai sends Min's photo. Fire is stunned. Mother and daughter look exactly alike, almost like twins. This confirms that Vari did bring Min with her and that Yudichai is a powerful man. That night, police teams and villagers search the forest. A small river runs through it toward the city, but nothing is found except the body of a buffalo. Fire now begins to sympathize with Vari. Any woman in her position would try to escape an abusive husband with her child. Suddenly, heavy rain begins. Vari and Fire search the house together. Their attention returns to the locked door. While Fire answers a call, no one notices the spirit standing directly behind Vari. With no key, they break the lock and enter. A long staircase descends deep underground. Every step feels soaked in mystery. At the bottom, they discover a massive dust-covered machine, unlike anything seen before. The space resembles a hidden laboratory. It becomes clear that Vari's mother never allowed anyone down here. Fire notices dried blood on the floor. In front of it stands a glass-enclosed machine. A single question forms in Fire's mind: who was Vari's mother, really? By morning, the forest search is called off. Min is still missing. All focus shifts to the laboratory. On the wall above the machine is a circular burn mark that passes straight through the drawing room and aligns directly with the wardrobe in Min's bedroom. While searching for a missing child, no one expected this 100-year-old house to reveal such a web of secrets. As they leave, attention falls on a black car parked outside the gate. It clearly does not belong to any villager, suggesting someone is watching them. During work hours, Fire goes for a routine medical checkup. Officer Dana waits outside and reacts happily to the medical report, but insists their relationship remains secret. This secrecy becomes one of Fire's greatest frustrations. As time passes, tension rises. Min is not found in the forest, and there is no proof of kidnapping. Fire and Vari stand at opposite ends of reality. While Fire prepares her home for a new life, Vari's world collapses after losing her child. That night, Vari hears someone running up the stairs and a door slamming shut. Finding no one, she immediately calls Fire, insisting someone has entered the house and that it is not an illusion. Fire tells her to stay calm and rushes there with her team. Outside, restless winds shake the windows. Despite the cold air, Vari is drenched in sweat. From behind the previously locked door, blue light and a strange sound emerge. As Vari enters, she hears a child's voice. Terrified, she stumbles but regains control and moves upstairs. There she sees the masked girl playing hide and seek with someone. Vari asks where Min has been, but the girl does not respond and instead runs wildly through the house. Chasing her into Min's room, Vari sees the entire space glowing with intense blue light. Every object floats in midair. As Vari watches in disbelief, she senses someone inside the wardrobe. She slowly approaches and opens it. The masked girl suddenly jumps out. In the same instant, an unseen force drags Vari away, pulling her into another dimension. When consciousness returns, Vari finds herself trapped inside a glass enclosure. Outside in the darkness stands an unknown woman watching silently. With this, the first part of the series ends, leaving behind unanswered questions. Whether Min is alive remains uncertain. Vari's fate hangs in balance. The identity of the mysterious woman is unknown. Whether Officer Fire can uncover the truth is unclear. Above all, the true secret of Jarukan House remains hidden, awaiting revelation in the final part.